Hi everyone, my name is Tara. I'm here at April's Aquarium and today I'm excited to show you probably my favorite fish in the hobby, which is the dwarf pufferfish, or as it's more commonly known, the pea puffer. So pea puffers are endemic to India. They are actually a shoaling fish. So a lot of people will keep them with only like one or two in a tank, but if you want to keep them in an environment that is as close to their natural habitat as possible, you would get a larger group of them. So their scientific name is Carina tetradon travancoricus. They're also known as the Indian dwarf puffer, the Malabar puffer, and the pygmy puffer, but most of us just call them pea puffers. They are voracious little carnivores. They will pretty much only eat live food. Bloodworms or brine shrimp. Their absolute favorite, though, I would say is snails. Frozen food works just as well sometimes, though live is always going to be better for these guys. They are a little bit aggressive, potentially territorial, so a lot of other fish species will definitely get nipped at or beat up by these guys. Are you going to eat it? Oh, there we go. So that is a great example of why you don't necessarily want to pair these guys with other fish because they take bites out of them. They really do like to eat meat. So definitely not something that you're going to be able to feed flakes to or pellets or anything like that. They need live food, meaty food. They don't really have a lot of fish that I would definitely recommend to house with them. That being said, autocats are a really great tank mate for these guys because they're so peaceful. They mostly just leave them alone. So if you get a group of pea puffers, they're actually normally really good together. It's going to be really tricky to determine whether or not they are male or female at this size that we're showing you here. But I will later show you a way to tell between the boys and the girls because we do have an adult male in the store that was surrendered to us. But normally you would want fewer males than females or else they can get a little bit aggressive with one another. So they are not super strong swimmers. They definitely prefer slower moving water. So if you have a tank with a lot of current in it, that's probably not going to be the best choice for them. They like a lot of cover in their tanks. So lots of plants, floating, planted, you name it. Lots of wood that they can kind of swim around and in between. So I personally would not house a pea puffer in anything smaller than a 5-gallon tank for one. They are really smart fish. They're very curious. They really like to explore. And once they get full grown, a 5-gallon tank is really the smallest size that I think they would be comfortable in. And then if you're going to add other puffers, the minimum is add another 3 gallons for every puffer you're going to have. That being said, the more room you have in the tank, the better. They're definitely going to spend a lot of time exploring and swimming around, especially if you've got a larger group of them. They do like warmer water, and the other thing is that these guys are 100% freshwater puffers. They are not brackish, they're not salt water, they only want fresh water, and they like their water to be a little bit softer and, like I said, a bit warmer. This is Puff. He was surrendered to us, and he is definitely a male. It might be hard in the video to see, but he has a stripe down his belly that females don't have. He's also a little bit more angular, and we're trying to get him to come up so that you can see the stripe along his belly. It's one way to identify a male versus a female. He also has little lines around his eyes that kind of look like wrinkles. Females don't really have those as much. Females are quite a bit rounder. You can see he's a little bit angular, and he's got a really full tummy right now. Hi, buddy. Something else that is super cute about pea puffers, and probably why they're some of my favorites, is their eyes move kind of independently, almost like a chameleon. So they will come up to the tank when they recognize you and know that you're feeding them. They'll come up to the tank and you'll see both of their little eyes just go right to you, and they'll kind of float around and hang out and wait for food very excitedly. So as you can see, Puff here is okay with autofish in his tank. So I hope you enjoyed the video of the small but mighty pea puffer, definitely one of my favorites. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.